Hey, what's going on YouTube? Mike here with Freight to Freedom again with another video. What's going on, guys? You guys out there driving your trucks, cruising down the road, thinking of ways to get out? That's why I made this channel. Today's video, what is today's video going to be about? I'm going to talk about a little bit more in depth about my social media marketing business that I made. And yes, it is a legit business. I just haven't done nothing with it yet, which is totally fine. It's just kind of sitting there waiting for me to do something with, which I've actually started to get back into. So a long time ago when I was in the truck, I just kept watching YouTube videos about different business ideas and just trying to make money and stuff like that. One of the ideas was social media marketing. So I was just heard all these stories about all these people doing the social media marketing and stuff. And if you hadn't noticed, I got my ivy growing super cool. This is kind of some of the stuff that I missed. I'm going to pull all this stuff off of my house here soon. I know, it destroys and eats away your house and there's not going to be anything left. I get it. But at least I get to be home and enjoy it now, you know what I mean? So, in case you guys didn't know, I'm selling sheds now. I've been selling sheds for, I think, about 4 months now, something like that. I think I got out in like March. So my whole story behind all that, before I get into it, I'm just going to jump all around. So before I got into it, I was driving a truck for probably about 11 years. It was a bunch of mixed match stuff. I never did go OTR. I guess I got kind of lucky doing that, which I feel sorry for you guys. I would not be able to do it. Would not be able to do it. So basically, I was driving for like 11 years and just got tired of it. And tired of the crappy trucks, tired of the crappy seats, bad equipment, and it was just everywhere. I mean, you know, I did everything from delivering beer to delivering Save-A-Lots. I'm here on the East Coast, so I was driving, you know, to all the ghetto areas. It's not politically correct to say, but it's in the lower income end areas. So like I was driving to like deep into like Philadelphia all the time for Save-A-Lot. I was delivering beer. I delivered beer. I jockeyed for a long time. So I did a bunch of other stuff, and like I said, I just was tired of it. You know, I've got like scoliosis. You know, my lower back is just kills me all the time. My posture is crappy. My neck, I got a straight neck. So I'm, you know, driving down the road and bouncing around and sitting in this bad equipment all the time, and I'm just like, man, I can't be doing this for ever. You know what I mean? It was really good money. The last company I was with, I'm not going to name any companies, but I was making 100,000, pushing 100,000, like 97, 98. Last year I actually broke that, so I capped at 103. 103,000, and like I said, I mean, it was good money, but I just didn't like it. Wasn't for me, man. If you could tell, I mean, I don't look like a truck driver. I don't, you know, I'm not the typical truck driving type, but it was money. It was good money, you know. Yeah, you know, I drove manuals and stuff, and you know, I drove them in the mountains and snow, and I did all that stuff, but I just didn't like it. I didn't like the way people drove, and I just decided to get out. And so I had an opportunity with my wife. She was selling sheds for a long time, and she said, yeah, the guy's looking for somebody to get in the seat right down the road. And it was starting to hit summertime, busy time, and I was like, you know, it's like, I think I'm just going to do it. And I just so I'll tell you this. I'm going to tell you the story again in case you guys missed the story from the first one. So my story was when I quit. So I had Fridays and Saturdays off, and I was driving daytime, and we were driving up to St. Clairsville, Ohio. So like I said, I am in West Virginia. I'm in the Eastern Panhandle right now, in case you guys wanted to, you know, steal all the money I don't have, or you know, come to my house and find me. So picking up here, right down the road, picking up here, it was all drop and hook. We would drive to St. Clairsville, drive up to Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, and then drive back to the Eastern Panhandle. So if that gives you any idea. So it was just round trip, day in and day out, just doing the same thing. And anyway, so when I decided this, we decided we had a call. We talked to him, and he was like, "Yeah, hop on a call." All right, we hopped on the call. Told him what we thought. And he's like, "Well, you know what? You just let me know if you want it. You got it." And I was like, "All right, cool." And because my wife's a go-getter. I'm a go-getter. We're hustlers. You know what I mean? We just get it in anything that we do. I feel like I've gotten kind of lazy getting out of the truck. I'm enjoying this way too much. So I kind of have to get back into the saddle, like, working hard, dude, because man, it just feels good to like relax, and my nervous system is like back to like regulation, because it was just my anxiety and stuff, and people driving was just bad. It was real bad. I just didn't like it. Almost just killing somebody every day. I was like, I don't know. I just had too much anxiety about it. And anyway, Wednesday. So Wednesday rolled around. This was like, the call was like Monday or something. Might have even been Tuesday. And so I was like thinking all day, just bouncing around, driving down the road. I was like, man, should I do it? Do I have the cojones to do it? Like, I've been doing this for so long. I'm trying to provide for my family. Like, can I do it? And I just basically I pulled the trigger, and I just reached down deep wherever I was reaching, and just decided to do it. So Wednesday I cashed out my vacation days, which they didn't get those emails or vacation requests, of course, so I had to go back and re-talk to them and get my money back for those. That was like a month later, which was awesome. So like it was all just good timing. Everything was good timing. We were getting taxes back, last paycheck, vacation days I cashed out like it was like a week, a little more than a week, 7 or something days, a little more than 7 days, 8 days or something. So like everything was just kind of falling. Everything just fell into place. And so Wednesday I cashed them out, and then Thursday was my last day. And coming back from St. Clairsville, which is super awesome. So I got one really good. The truck driving industry got it good for me. One more good punch. So basically, what I did was I was going out to St. Clairsville. I got out there, to the new lot, drop hooked, and was coming back, and the ride just felt super rough, dude. Really, really rough, and just slamming, hammering down, and it was just bouncing hard, like. It was hitting the ground, and I was like, why is it so freaking rough? And the whole time was rough. And I didn't hear nothing. I can't hear nothing. I got bad hearing as it is. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I didn't deploy, but all the shooting and stuff like that, and everything that I did when loud music, whatever. I just can't really hear anymore. You know what I mean? And I'm only 39 years old, but I still can't hear that much. But So anyway, yeah, bouncing down, and I finally got to the toll plaza, and I pulled off on the toll plaza, and I got out and was looking around, and sure enough, man, I heard a little bit of air, and so come to find out, I called my buddy. He was like, "Yeah," he's like, "Get your leveler valve for your airbags." So I was like, "Frick," you know what I mean? So my freaking leveler valve was stuck open. That's why I was freaking hammering down on the airbags, which was awesome for God knows how long. But I didn't really notice that much of a difference. It just felt a little rougher, So, but anyway, I pulled over, found that out. They came out, fixed the truck, and anyway, got back on the road, got back and drove. My 16 hours, might have even been a little bit more, because they were going to a new system. I don't know. So I probably didn't even get paid for all of that day, but got back, and it was like 11 p.m. So we started, try to get there, clock in at 6, whatever, 6:30, leave at 7:30. So anyway, got back at and dropped my trailer. It was right at about 11 o'clock. Called dispatch and I told him, yeah, dude, tell my driving manager because I know he's not going to answer the phone because he's worthless. And I was like, tell him I quit. So anyway, that's my whole story with that. Um, so I started selling sheds and stuff like that. And this whole time I was driving, I was watching videos on like business ideas and like how to make money and all this other stuff. So I've got so many ideas in my brain. And I was like, well, maybe I should just start a YouTube channel. I don't know. I've got 6 subscribers, by the way. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me. Anyway, I'll get into the meat and potatoes now because I'm going on 10 minutes. I'm just ranting. 11 minutes. Ranting and raving. So the one idea that I had was when I was driving was the social media marketing business, and I got everything together. I got the LLC, and I'll go down the structure on everything that I did for that. It really wasn't too much, to be honest with you, but I'll give you guys some tips and tricks and go in that a little bit more details. But so basically, I was sitting here and I had this list of businesses, and I got my headset and I'm bouncing around the truck. I'm driving, I'm moving. While I'm driving a truck, and I was like trying to do this when I was driving a truck. And I tell you, when I'm on the phone and I'm trying to concentrate on a phone call like that, and trying to sell, because I didn't know how to really sell that much, I'm usually pretty engrossed in the phone call. You know what I mean? So it's not just like shooting the shit with your buddies and just talking, whatever, BS and passing time, and then, oh, hey, I'm at my stop. It's pretty engaging. So I'm sitting here trying to call these customers, and next, I would like get on the phone call and be like, oh, okay, I'm here. I'm pretty far down the road. You know what I mean? I was just zoning out, and I was like, man, I can't be doing this, because I had no time to do anything. But for you guys, these are my tips and tricks for you guys who want to get out of the truck. You're going to have to start slow. There's always a slow period, you know what I mean, to transitioning to trying to get out of the truck. Unless you get lucky and you find something like I did, like selling sheds, you know what I mean, with my wife, so it's like a dynamic duo. So, she helps me a lot. We bounce between each other, you know what I mean? So it's a really cool, like, team effort to just try to make money. And we do pretty good, you know what I mean? We cover everything. We're kind of struggling right now. It's a little slow, even though it's summertime, but people are on vacation. So anyway, so with the social media marketing business, what you want to do, to set it up, to be honest with you, you really don't have to set anything up. There's nothing to set up. Even though you're going to be like calling clients and doing stuff, you don't have to get a freaking LLC or nothing like that, dude. The first thing to do is to start calling people. Really, the first thing to do is to start learning. You can find so much free material on YouTube, it's not even funny. These guys out here make super good videos. I'm probably going to get to that point at some point in time. But right now, I'm just going all organic videos, just talking, because I want to be very personal with my audience. That's kind of how I want it to be. Yeah, I'll get into like editing and doing some cool stuff. And so, sorry if you hear the planes. We live right by an airfield too. There's a deer, so it's just kind of cool being outside and being home. But anyway, you guys, you don't have to do an LLC or anything like that. First thing to start doing is start learning how to do it and figuring out what you want to do. Whether it be web page development, creating websites for businesses and stuff, revamping websites. You see a couple of websites like in your local area or something like that needs some revamping. Another big thing is just running their social media, posting pictures and stuff like that, and figuring out how to take control. You can figure out all that stuff. But basically, what you do is you take control of their Facebook and their social medias, and you just post the pictures. You post posts. You keep track of everything. you build their audience, all in local areas, but that's the sales point, you know what I mean, is to help them build their audience and bring their, get more people to their location by posts and stuff like that. Any kind of tactic to just bring in more people um, to that location. Sorry, a notification on my phone. But so one big one is a lot of people that do this kind of thing is running social media ads. That's a really, really big one, and it's scalable. So you want to find something that is very straightforward and very scalable, and running ads on social media and stuff like that, and even Google too. It's a very straightforward business model, and it's very scalable. Now you may not be able to charge clients $1,500, but what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do it myself. And what you guys can do is you can do this right off the bat. So what you want to do is outsource it. I'm probably just going to go ahead and outsource. So I found a pretty good team to work with. No, they're not in America. Yes, they're in India. Whatever. It's cheap. So to run like Facebook ads, they charge me, like $250 or something like that. So then I charge my clients what I'm going to charge my clients. Like if I wanted to run ads for them, is $500 or $1,000, or just do just $1,000 flat. You know what I mean, plus tax. So that's basically what I would do from there. Is I'm just going to call these customers, hey, I noticed that you're not running Facebook ads. Is there a reason? I feel like you're leaving a lot of missed opportunity on the table by not running Facebook ads. Because here's the thing, guys. There's a lot of companies out there and a lot of businesses that aren't running ads, and you got to think about it. If there's not a lot of exposure and people don't see stuff over and over and over and over again, a business has to have money for marketing. You know what I mean? So even the restaurants, restaurants and stuff, you can charge a lower price because they're not going to have a whole lot of extra money laying around. You know what I mean? So you can choose any niche. So as far as niche, it's like, business, what kind of you know what I mean? Whether it be doctors, lawyers, landscapers, roofers, do some research on that and watch some YouTube videos on that. But the first thing, like learn how to do all that stuff. If you don't know anything about it, learn how to do it. So learn how to take control of the Facebook page. Learn how to run the ads and learn how to get the analytics and read the analytics. This way you can give those analytics to the business and the company, so you can go over them all the time. So be like, hey, this is what we're running, this is what did good, this is what did bad, this many likes, this many shares, this much engagement. Learn about all that stuff. But as far as setup, what you want to do is just go ahead and just start selling. Start calling people, start selling, and start getting clients in the door and be like, hey, I noticed you're not running ads, whatever. Hey, is someone running your Facebook? Hey, can I do it? Blah, blah, blah. And just tie it all to your personal bank account. And when you start getting momentum and you start making, a large enough amount of money and a large enough amount of, clients, then, because the IRS isn't going to be like, oh, you made $3,000 in 6 months. They're not going to care. You know what I mean? And you don't have to worry about paying taxes and all this other stuff because they're not going to care either. You're don't worry about paying taxes on money that you haven't even made yet. Does that make sense? So you don't have to freaking set up an LLC and all that stuff. With social media marketing, you can basically, you're a sole proprietor anyway, you know what I mean? So you're just doing business for yourself. So it's going into your bank account, it's your stuff. You can use your social security number, you know what I mean? It's all you got to do. So once you start making enough money, then you can be like, all right, now I got to set up an LLC and all this other stuff. So once you get a client, you know what I mean? You may even have to do it for free. You know, maybe a couple times. You may have to do that just to get some traction, get some reviews, and get some rapport under your belt. This way you can be like, yeah, you know, I did this for this company, I did that, because people want, you know, people who own businesses, they want to see, obviously they want to see traction. They want to see action. They want to see what you did. Well, what did you do? Did you grow them big? Did you get them, you know, did you do this? What did you do? You know, why should I hire you? You know what I mean? So you may have to do some stuff for free at first. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to call people and just do it. I don't know. But just now, like for myself, like I said, I have already set up an LLC for this business. I already had to claim that I didn't make any money because I didn't do anything yet. So I haven't done nothing yet. So I'm just getting now back into it. Like I said, I'm getting my bank accounts, everything, and documents. So even for like documents, you're going to want to make some kind of legal document as well. Also, if you guys don't have ChatGPT, just go ahead and download ChatGPT and pay the $20 a month for the upgraded plan. Do it. You're going to thank yourself in the long run, because ChatGPT may not be always like exactly right, but it can give you a pretty straight direction of what you should do, who you should contact. You know, if you have any questions, you can punch it in there and it'll help you out. You know, it helped me a lot in my my water sports and charter business, which I named Soggy Bottoms, by the way. Just kind of funny. I thought that was hilarious. But anyway, it's called Soggy Bottoms Water Sports and Charter LLC. So, and it helped me do all that. It helped me figure out all that stuff, you know, on what kind of certifications, what I should do, what I should have, and how to start the business. You can even use that to your advantage too. How should I set up my LLC? What should I do? How should I contact clients? Like, it'll give you, you know, like a contact, like how to contact them. You know, example emails. You know, you can copy and paste example emails, you know, and generalize it through all your, you know, your contacts. You know, contacting these businesses and messaging them on Facebook and stuff like that. You can use it for literally everything. Now, for some kind of CRM, I wouldn't really worry about too much of a CRM. It's a customer relations management system. It basically just keeps track of all your contacts and all the information and stuff like that. You're going to want something a little bit later down the line, but I've found that, like, I'm starting to learn and do HubSpot right now, which seems pretty cool, seems pretty easy. I don't know about straightforward, because even though I look pretty smart, I am definitely in the hard to learn category. So I barely passed high school, you know what I mean? So it's very hard for me to learn. We'll just say that. So, yeah, and you can use ChatGPT, like I said, if for like legal binding contracts and stuff like that. Like, just type it in. Hey, can you ChatGPT? You know, can you help me write up a legal binding contract for these customers that I'm going to be servicing through social media marketing, and what you're going to be doing specifically. This way, that's all in the contract. And you can, so a couple different e-signature apps and stuff like that. You can use anything. At first, I started using DocuSign. You can use DocuSign. You can use PandaDoc. You can use Signwell. I think what I'm going to do now is go with Signwell. They seem like in the long run the cheapest and the best bang for my buck, which really isn't buying much, to be honest with you. I haven't used it yet, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and sign up for it. I was kind of piddling around in there. DocuSign I used. Seems pretty easy to use, to be honest with you myself. But that's what I was using before. And like I said, I just took all those, the document that ChatGPT made, and I put it into DocuSign, and it, you put where you want the customers to sign. You make your little box like, oh, sign here. You click and put where you want your boxes. So it's pretty straightforward and pretty easy, but you can use any e-sign document, but you want to just have in there everything that you're going to do, what you're going to charge, what you're going to post, and be exact. Be exact, even for like revisions and stuff like that. Like if you say you make a post and you send it to them and you're like, hey, is this one going to go? You put up to, three revisions, or 5 revisions for the month. You know what I mean? And of course, that's all going to be in the onboarding process. You know what I mean? So once you get these clients, once you get these clients to be like, hey, so-and-so restaurant, BJ's, let's say BJ's restaurant. All right, you sign them on, you're going to do business with them. Oh, there's my wife. Anyway, I'm going to cut this video short. But once you sign them on, there's my dog. Oh, man. Every time my wife comes home. But yeah, once you get them signed on, that's going to be part of the onboarding process. And that'll be, then you can go into step by step. You can get a feel for their branding, get a feel for their colors, how they talk, how you think, wording and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's a little bit more details on the social media marketing side. So yeah, you guys can even outsource the contacts list too. You can just use Google Maps. You can use Google Maps. Just look up Google Maps in your local areas, and you can pull up businesses in your local area. And just go through, look at their websites, see if their websites are crap, and you can change their websites. And, just call them if you think they need help. If you think you can help them run ads, look at their Facebooks, look at their social medias, if they don't look outdated and stuff like that. Find a good price. Now, good pricing, you're looking at social media stuff for like restaurants and stuff, like $200, $300, something like that. When you're looking for larger companies running ads, you're looking, you could probably get away with, $500, $600, $800, maybe $1,000. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna go straight to $1,000. But hey, girl. Anyway, hey, making my video. But anyway, look, here comes the other one. All right. Here's my video. Hi, girl. So anyway, once you find these clients, yeah, sign them up, guys. Make money. Hustle. You want to see? Hustle that money, dude. Make money. Just call as many people as you can and be relentless. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.